Well, she asked us to look at the minutes and kind of fill in anything that we missed.
Okay.
So, okay, we'll call our meeting to order at 6:03 or whatever. May Agriculture Advisory Board, we'll have a moment of silence and then an invocation. And then we'll be looking over the minutes too, so. Let's do a moment of silence, and Charlie, will you do the invocation when we get there? Go ahead, Charlie.
Lord, as we come to you, we're so thankful to live in a country, Lord, where we can still worship you and serve you. Thank you for all the farmers represented here tonight. Thank you for the farmers across our country that feed, fuel us, take care of us, God. Lord, I just pray you'll touch each family that's farming this year, and just in these hard times with the high fuels prices and everything, it's a difficult time, Lord. We just need you to help us. Bless our president and everything that he does. Help us in this war. It'll end soon. God, I pray for everyone here that's represented, their families. Touch them all, Lord. Help us do thy will. In Jesus' name.
Amen. Chris, would you like to lead us in the pledge?
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank y'all. Appreciate it. Okay, look at the minutes and see what, if anything needs to be amended or corrected.
Make a motion to accept.
Motion to accept, and second by Mr. Nate. Any discussion on them? Okay, we'll have a motion and a second to accept the minutes. All those who approve, say aye.
Aye.
Any dissent, say no. All right, so the minutes are approved. We get to Christie in a minute, no public comments. I've talked to Ms. Moxley a few times about if she would be willing to accept the nomination for chairperson, and she said she would. She's not able to be here tonight, but she said she'll be here in June, and she's willing to take on the responsibility if that's what the board wants to do. But it's, first of the year, we have to elect officers each beginning of the year. So I would like to nominate Ms. Tessa Moxley for chairperson. Anyone, any seconds or any other nominations? I guess we have to have a second.
I don't know who else do we have? Still on the board?
These here, David, Gary.
Still got David.
Gary's here, still on the board.
Tessa's the only other one that's got the most experience with the board.
Yeah.
She's got the experience. She's willing to handle it.
She's got the experience and the passion.
And I told her we'd support her 100%, of course. But I think she's a good spokesperson. She's spoken with the council before, and she's a good leader. She's a good spokesperson. She's got a passion for agriculture. So I'd like to place her in the nomination for chairperson of this board.
Second.
Mr. Charlie, second. Any discussion or any other nominations? Hearing none, let's put it to a vote. All those that are in favor of Tessa, please raise your hand. Tessa is chairperson. Any opposed? So is that unanimous? Unanimous, okay. Good, well, I'll fill in for her since she's not here tonight. Y'all keep her in mind, she's having some back issues, so she couldn't be here, so we'll support her as chairperson. But, we need a vice chair and a secretary, a note taker. In the bylaws, it says we can have a person on the board do the notes, or we can ask the county staff to do the notes, so. The last two terms, I think we've had one of our people, I think Tessa did it once or twice, take the notes, the minutes. So we need a vice chair and a secretary. Any nominations for the vice chairman? How about Charlie? Would Charlie do it?
I would.
All right, I'd like to nominate Charlie White to be the vice chairman, and, any discussion? Any seconds? Do I have a second? Second, all right, discussion. Okay, all those in favor of Charlie being the vice chairman, raise your hand. Vote for yourself if you want to, but that looks pretty unanimous. And we're all in it together, so we're gonna support each other 100%, so it's kind of a figurehead, kind of. Secretary,
Who's our secretary now?
Mr. Nate.
I nominate him if he wants, willing to keep.
I'll second if you wanna do it.
Sure.
Okay.
Pay raise.
Yeah, we'll double his salary. All right. All those in favor of Mr. Nate being the secretary, raise your hand. Okay, so unanimous. Very good. Now, to get past the admin stuff, let's get to the good stuff. We'd like to welcome Miss Christy Carlson from the Farm Crawl, and she's gonna tell us all about what's going on this weekend. It's a big event.
It is.
Big
Thank
weekend.
you guys for
Welcome.
having me today. Thank you. It's an honor to be with you guys. Your reputations precede you in the community, so it's fun to put faces to names for sure. So my name's Christy Carlton. I moved here to Oconee in 2023. And I'll just give you a brief bit of my story and kind of what brought me to this. In 2014, I was diagnosed with an autoimmune liver disease that progressed very rapidly, and I ended up having a liver transplant in 2021. And you guys know when you go through events like that in your life, your perspective changes.
Yes, it.
We lived in the mountains of Colorado, which are beautiful, and I love it there. But land is $1 million an acre. And so we decided that we wanted a big change. We wanted to be with more like-minded people. We wanted land. We wanted to start homesteading. And so we had never even been to South Carolina. We made a list of all the states and all the values that we wanted in a place to live and started crossing them off. And we landed here in beautiful Oconee County. And we are grateful every day because it is an amazing place to live. So through that journey, I really was mindful and thoughtful in learning about food and how food and health kind of go together. And so when we moved here, it was important to me to find farmers to connect with right away to buy my meat and my produce and all those things from locals, because that's a huge value for me and I think it's really important. And shopping local has always been important to me. And so as I was looking for the farmers, it was difficult to find them. There wasn't like a centralized resource that I knew of, like a directory or anything like that. And so as I started meeting people like you find out that these are the best people on the planet. They're the most hardworking, kind, full of integrity people that you'll ever meet. and I'm hearing their stories and I'm using their products, and it's amazing, but people don't know about them. And so my background is more of an event planner and administration. And so I listened to a podcast about a farm crawl up in Virginia, and I was just so inspired. It was one of those moments in life where you like pause and you're like, that's so cool, and I could do that, and I should do that. And so that's kind of how the farm crawl was born. Total grassroots movement, people just gathering together, farmers and homesteaders last fall. We put on the first one in September. We sold 500 tickets, and we had 20 farms, and it was just an amazing day. It was a great, great day to connect our community to our local farms. Many of the farms had their best day that they've had in sales, and so it was neat to see the farms come together in collaboration to do that event and get to know each other and build community with each other. And so from that, it was so successful, the community was already asking, you know, when's the next one? How can we stay connected to these farmers? And that was important to me, to not just do a one-time event. I want people to shop local and connect with our farmers 365. And so from that, I started the Oconee Farm Collective, which is really just a collection of initiatives to elevate agriculture in the county. And we launched a brand new magazine called Homegrown. The first issue arrives tomorrow. The Journal is printing it, so I'm so excited. I wish I had it in hand to give to you tonight. But it's just a storytelling magazine, not just about farms, but about life in Oconee County. It is very rural focused. There's a lot of stories from our local farmers, makers, artisans, and businesses here in Oconee. So it's just a fun way to tell stories in hopes that our community really connects with those people, falls in love with them, and wants to do business with them going forward. We also launched a podcast, also called Homegrown, just another platform to reach different generations, where we invite people in the community to come on and share their story. So I would love to extend an invitation to you guys, if that's ever anything you'd like to be a part of, the magazine, writing, telling your story, coming on the podcast. I would be honored to have you guys do that. And of course, we have the Spring Farm Crawl. We actually have 38 local farms on the crawl, 23-year stops, and we sold 1,000 tickets. We sold 500 in the first 24 hours. And it has been humbling and really mind-blowing for me to see the community support of this and how excited people are. Our Facebook page has 300,000 views in the last month, and it's people from all over America. And so you guys feel it, you work it, you live it every day. The culture is shifting. People are wanting to get back to the land. They're wanting to get back to knowing where their food comes from. I think we did our big turn towards Walmart and Amazon and all the easy things, and people are shifting back towards that. And it's been really interesting to see the farm crawl audience. You know, we have probably 50-60% that are just people who are like, ooh, I get to go hold a baby goat for the day, or, you know, go to the cornfield, or whatever that is, because it's fun, right? It's tourism. But then the other half are people who are really looking to learn from y'all. They're really wanting to learn skills and see how your operations work. And I think that's really exciting. It's fun to see that. And so this year we added a couple of workshops around the farm crawl for people to learn some skills as well. But it's just an exciting time. It's fun to see that much momentum and excitement around an agriculture event. It's a joy that the Farm Center is a stop on the crawl this year, because my heart is to partner with them, and they are the hub of agriculture in the county. And so how do we elevate what everybody's doing here? And so it's a lot of fun. I actually brought y'all tickets, so if you guys would like tickets, don't tell anybody, because they might try to scalp them off you at this point since we're sold out. But I also brought you booklets from both 2025 and 26, just so you can see the farms that are involved and see what they were offering for the day. It's just really interesting and exciting to see that. And so, yeah, just wanted to share what's going on and hopefully build relationship with you guys going forward. Any questions?
It's very interesting.
It
Thank
is.
you
It's a
very
lot
much.
of fun.
We did a farm directory early on, in the beginning days of the Ag Advisory Board, so maybe Ms. Deanne can help us look back and see if we're the
I would
beginning.
love to see that. So we did create one. It's on aconifarmcollective.com, and it's by product. So you can search beef or poultry or eggs or herbs or all bread, all the things. So we have a list of the farm stands and the farm stores. It's definitely not complete by any means, so it'd be fun to look at that and kind of combine that resource.
We'll dig around and see if we can find it,
Yeah.
and we didn't publish it very actively, moved on to different things, I guess, and didn't publish it fully, but we'd like to share it with you and
Yeah,
see
that
if
would
you
be
can add
great.
to
We
yours.
did publish it in the magazine as well. The whole heart of the magazine is to get it in as many hands as possible and tell those stories so that people really shop from the farms.
It sounds wonderful. It sounds like exactly what we have tried to do, communicate, spread the word about agriculture in the community.
Well, it's an exciting time. The momentum is there, so let's grab it and run with it for
Yes,
sure.
ma'am. I
Yeah.
agree. Did you say you're sold out?
We are. Yep, some of the smaller farms, I mean, it's people's homes, right? Some of them have one way in, one way out parking lots, so we've got walkie-talkies and volunteers with vests, and we're trying to figure out, but then you have the bigger farms that can handle 1,000 people. And so they're like, sell more, sell more. And then you have the little tiny ones like Belmore that are like, that's too many. So just trying to find that balance, but I really want it to be accessible. We keep the tickets at $10 because I want the community I want everyone to feel welcome and that they're able to come and enjoy.
Well, I'd like to challenge the agriculture board to everybody try to go and take a friend or family member
Yes.
with you. And
Yes,
I told
I have
Christy,
multiple tickets, so yes, we would love to have you come, bring whoever. I do know 2 of the ag commissioners for South Carolina that are running are coming. Danny Ford and Cody Simpson will be there too, so it might be a good opportunity
Wow, yeah.
to do that, to speak with them at least, yeah.
maybe we can get some council members there and some of the other boards and committees to come too.
Yeah,
I challenge our board to grab a couple of tickets and bring friends and family. I told Christy, put me down for at least 2,
yes, sir.
so.
I brought them with me tonight, so you don't have to fight at the check-in locations.
Can you give us they don't all go to one place at once? I mean, how do
No,
you
sir.
schedule?
So we have 3 check-in locations throughout the county, so Mountain Rest, Walhalla, and Westminster. And they choose when they buy tickets where they're gonna check in. Walhalla is the biggest by far this year, so our Walhalla farms, that's where I've been all day, is on the farms, and I gave them a heads up, like, you're gonna get a lot of people first thing. So yeah, our hope is that people kind of crisscross the county. There's a couple other events happening on Saturday, the Jeep Fest in Walhalla, so it's gonna be a big party on Saturday,
It is.
yes.
And then the farm center's doing their thing, the Bygone Days
Yes.
Saturday as well, so.
I was there today and it looked really nice, they've got it all set up, so,
And so it's one of the stops on the crawl,
yes, sir.
yeah. Can you name a few of the others on the farm?
Absolutely, here, let me give you these booklets, because they're a lot of fun. And it's just so neat to see so many different types of farms. We have mushroom farms, we have a farm rescue, several produce farms, 1909 Black Angus up in Mountain Rest. There's just a ton of variety, which is really great for the community because then they can, they choose where they go. We call it a self-paced tour of Oconee most charming local farms. And they check in, they get their wristband. They've already been emailed this booklet and they'll get one in person on Saturday. It's got an interactive map on it. And then each farm has their own page with what they're offering that day. Many of them are doing, like McClatchy Orchards is doing their hay demonstration, bringing down all the equipment and teaching about how to run a hay operation. So there's all sorts of different types of experiences that we're offering.
Wow, this is very nice brochure.
Thank you. I have an amazing designer who does all of my stuff.
This is wonderful.
Yes, Cornerstone Designs. She's amazing. And we keep it all in the county. So it's local photography, local designer. It's all printed at the Journal, just to make sure it's solid Oconee County through and through.
How do you get on the list?
How do you get a
For the
ticket?
tour?
Oh, yeah, so,
Being on the tour.
we have host farm applications, and actually, we're doing another farm crawl in September. And so, those will actually open up pretty quickly after this one. June 1st is when the host farm applications will be live, for our September 19th crawl. And it's fun, because the one in September, we had 8 farms that are not on the spring crawl, and that's my heart in doing each season, because there's farms that, you know, have stuff to showcase in spring that maybe not in fall. And so we let them choose like what is most beneficial for you. What time of year do you want to showcase what you're doing? So it gives them options.
This is wonderful, Christie.
Thinking about letting a tour of cotton farm.
Yes, that would be awesome.
I grew cotton.
I would love that. I'm coming.
And it was good to see cotton growing in my neighborhood this
Yes.
past year, so.
I'm actually pleased with cotton. It was good.
Is it doing well this year? Good.
As long as the combines don't catch on fire, you're all right.
Well, we had one picker catch on fire, but anyway, we made it through it.
And no more engines exploding, it sounds like. Here's the 2025 booklets, just so you can see who was on it in the fall, too. We made them a little bigger this time.
You know, there are farms on here we didn't even know about.
Yes.
So is it too late to get on it for this year?
It's too late to get on for Saturday.
No, I mean.
But for fall, we would love to have you. That would be great. Would any of you guys like tickets? I'm gonna hand Rex his.
Everyone is challenged to buy a ticket or two.
But we don't want you to buy tickets. We wanna give them to you because we want you to come.
Well, I'll make it think.
You want some? How many? Two?
I mean,
I've got 1,500 in the car, so you tell me how many you want.
I want at least 2.
Okay. And if you need more, just email me or text me.
Now, this is for.
I know the county bought 20 or something last fall. Did you guys want
Just
two? So then you guys just starting at 9, you have your booklet and your wristbands, and you just go wherever you want, stay however long you want.
Thank you.
You guys available Saturday?
Possibly.
Possibly?
I'm possibly too. I would just do one because I know my family already doing this Saturday.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
I
is
think
a
you are
busy
too.
time of year in May with graduations and all, Memorial Day and all that.
Me too.
You got it. Good, well, we would love for you to come, and I would love your honest feedback on it. If there's things that you see that we could do better, if there's things that you'd like to see more of, whatever that looks like.
Well, speaking of the farm center, it's one of the places, one of the farms on the stop. They had a good, they've had a good schedule of events lately. They had the sporting clays last month. They had about 160 shooters, made a good profit for that. They had several things this past recently, and this is coming up, and then farm crawl's coming up. Bygone Days is the tractor show and antique engine show, and they'll have some vendors up there. So it's things for people to see and do. They've had the Build a Bed, you know, our daily Sleep in Heavenly Peace. It's an organization that builds beds for kids that don't have those. They work up there almost every week building beds for people that need beds, kids that don't have a bed. So there's a lot going on at the farm center, and this is going to be a welcome boost to them too.
It will be very fun. They have their own page in there, so check it out.
It's very good. We look forward to visiting and learning about all these farms that we didn't
Good.
know about.
Well, thank you all for having me. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you. I appreciate your persistence and appreciate you getting here. So
Yes, yes, sir.
glad we were able to meet tonight.
Yes, good. Well, I appreciate you all. I know you work very hard in your day job, so it's fun to see you serve in the county as well.
Thank you. Thank you for what you're doing, and we'll see you Saturday. We look
Sounds
forward
good.
to it.
I'll be there.
Look forward to the crawl. We'll crawl on over there.
Where will you meet at?
I'm sorry, what?
Where will you meet Saturday?
So you guys have your tickets, so you can just start and go to whatever farm you want in your booklet. I will be at the Walhalla check-in at Walhalla Performing Arts Center.
Okay.
So if you need more tickets, come there and I'll hook you up.
But if you have your tickets, you don't have to go check in.
Right, right. You
Okay.
can just start at a farm at 9.
Just go out, head out.
Yep.
Okay. We'll see you all there. Thank you very much, Miss Christie. Appreciate it.
Yes.
Did anyone have a chance to look at the comprehensive plan, the 2020 comprehensive plan?
I didn't. I got it, I think, yesterday. I've been busy.
Okay.
At times.
There's not a lot in there that says 2026, but there are items in there we probably should look at as 2025 and things, so.
Rex, my question is, I glanced at it, this 2020 comprehensive plan, and if I'm not mistaken, it says somewhere in there that it is revised every 5 years.
Time.
So shouldn't it have been revised in 2025?
I have not seen a revised one yet. I believe that is coming. I know they do a full update every 10 years,
Yeah.
but I have not
Yes.
seen a revision. I sent what was the most current that I had available.
If I'm not mistaken, I saw that somewhere that it is to be revised every 5 years. So I didn't know how much time we need to spend looking at the 2020 if it was revised last year.
No, I don't think it's been revised.
I have not seen a
I
revision.
don't know, okay. I just bringing that up.
Well, good, it's time, yeah, it's a good time, for input, and it's a good time to look at the zoning things that are going on. The planning commission's re-looking at the zoning. I believe it said chapter 38 of the zoning,
Yeah, 32.
32 and 38. It's a good time for us to provide some input for them too, but, that's all the more reason we need to look at the 2020 plan and give input if it is time to revise it, update it. A good opportunity. We can come back around to that if you hadn't had time to look at it or need more time. We'll come back to that. Is that okay with everybody?
Just a quick question, when the 5-year revision happens, is it takes several months to revise it? And they're looking for input from other committees on this revision? Is that the typical?
Typically, if they're doing a full, update, yes, sir. They're gonna have key people throughout the county that's involved, like committee members, things like that. And that's generally how they're done. I can check and find out when that review is gonna be or when the next update's gonna happen, and I'll be glad to email everybody. It'll be the end of the week, but I can check on it and notify you, so you'll kind of know how to plan for future.
Okay. And then they might inform you to say, hey, what does the Ag Board think about this, this, and this? And
Right.
then it'll be on the agenda for us to
We
discuss
can
whatever.
I can pass that information
Okay.
along to y'all. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, of particular interest is the 8112, provide, input and collaboration, encourage support and collaboration, landowners, public and private agencies, develop sound plans for preservation and restoration of farmland and forests. That's a 2025, was the evaluation timeframe for it. So it's a good time to be looking at those, Chris, and try to give input to the proper agencies to update these. Some of these are very, very, they're all very important, but that's a really important one too, about in light of what's happening around and all the development pressure we're under. So just look at that and let's come back to it in June. Be ready to make some suggestions or improvements to it. See where we can go with that. So, anyway, there's a lot in that plan there's a lot to address and a lot to do. And one of those is attracting agricultural business. Some of those is mentioned in there. We just we kind of need to get out there and find some agribusiness to invite in and work with our planning and development offices and see if we can bring in, we talk about pellet mills for energy. We've talked about a lot of different subjects to bring in the industry, agri-industry. Got any updates or any suggestions, pursuits that you'd like to look at? I know we talked about looking at the pellet mill in Toccoa, go visiting some of those pellet mills and see how they work.
Yeah, that's you know, you're right, we discussed that some last year, but we never implemented it how we would, if we could, whether it be through you as the chairman or just take it upon ourselves to go over there. I don't know, how would that work? To set up a meeting with the folks over there, say, hey, we'd like to come tour it, tell us what your, advantages, disadvantages is? Because that would be huge for the timber industry in Oconee County, if something like that could happen. I think it'd be, you know, a good idea that we, invite ourselves to come there or something, you know?
Well, sure, I can make contacts with some, find out who it is and make contacts and see if we can go visit.
Then we could report back to the council, you know, say, hey, this is something that we think would be great if they could help support it, you know?
I think it'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I think most of them are across the water. Georgia, we have a lot of pellet mills.
I have a small piece of property that's got some wonderful timber on it, but because it's so small, no longer wants to fool with it.
But you look, on the Beltline especially, going toward where our county quarters over there, there's wood all day long coming in and out of there. We could be using that for, you know, pellet mill.
Yeah.
Instead of going to the dump.
Yeah. And to my understanding, the pellet uses just the total scraps of wood to make those. I mean, right down to a piece of bark. I mean, it's like nothing's wasted.
They'll grind it, they'll grind a big stump and then put it right through pellets.
I believe it said in our plan that we're way down the list as far as, we got the wood, but we don't have the mills, the market. So it hurts Oconee not having the market.
We need something to attract those people here and see what it would take to get them here.
On that note, did that lumber yard or mill over there off of Old Seneca, is it been sold or has it, do you know?
I don't think so.
It's the same people still have it? Okay,
Order.
all right. Just curious, I'd heard it was sold or gonna be sold or something. Maybe that's wrong information.
Well,
Might have been the railroad. Maybe we got something going on with it. But Elvin still owns it, as far as I know.
talking about the one down in Courtney?
No, on Old Seneca, that back road going into Westminster off of Highway 11.
Oh, Clendenin.
Oh, yeah, Claremont.
Yeah, I guess that's the name of it, I'm not.
Yeah, it's
Clendenin.
Clinton.
Okay.
Activity seems to have picked up a little there, so
Maybe that's where the rumors was that it was sold or something was going on. It was more active. I was just curious, I didn't know.
I'll ask around too and see if we can find some neighboring pellet mills and see if they want to expand over this way. That's what we're going to do. It's been on my mind too with the ethanol plant. $5 a gallon, it's time to have it.
Yeah. So what would it take to get in that kind of business, dollar-wise, for for the agriculture industry.
I don't know.
Big investment.
We had that one in Estelle, and it worked real well. But it's some bad management, so. I know the Farm Bureau was involved in it.
Involved some type of distilling and process, the whole process.
Yeah, it was still grains.
Heck, if it's bad management, go there and make them an offer on their equipment and bring it up here.
Still there.
Still there.
You bet.
Acreage wise, what would it take to run that kind of business?
20 acres, probably. Because you could have like the soy meal and that kind of stuff brought in the corn. You wouldn't have to really mill it right there. It'd be nice if you could, but it could be brought in and then make the ethanol.
Okay, well, the next item is farmland protection. As we go through the comprehensive plan, there are a lot of things in there that relate to natural resource protection, so look closely at those and let's, make some suggestions to update those points, and see what we can do to help protect our open space and farmland and natural resources. There are quite a few points in the plan that deal with that.
I'd like to make a point too, Mr. Chairman, on this right here, this issue. You know, there's a moratorium on, development right now. That's only temporary. Can't last forever. And as we all know, the Ag Task Force said that the number one threat to farmland is development. This is critical. The next 8 months is what I understand the time limit, is that we do put as much input to the council as we possibly can about farmland protections. And the zoning matrix for agricultural zoning is very good, in my opinion. But if we can make it better, why not? Council's pretty much said, hey, throw us some ideas, you know, about protecting our farms. And not only that, you know, just the whole development situation, as we all said, everybody says we're worried about overdevelopment, right? You can't go to any grocery store or sit down at a Hardee's and eat a biscuit without somebody saying our land is being overdeveloped. So during this 8 months, we've got that critical, I'm hoping that we'll get input. I'm sure Farm Bureau will give input. We need it to encourage the council to strengthen these development standards when it comes to farmland. So I just wanted to bring that out there that
We have 8 months on it, David?
yeah, a moratorium is only temporary. You can't do it forever.
The 8 months is for the full-on moratorium, but the planning commission has already started working diligently on the updates. So I would say the sooner you could get those comments in to allow that to be built into the plan, the better off.
Is it to stop all development or
It's-
housing development or what?
More than 10 houses.
Anything 11 lots or greater. So your minor stuff, 10 lots or less, which is generally just your average person has a piece of land they want to divide in a few lots. Those are not stopped, but anything 11 lots or more is. So any of your larger subdivisions are on hold. Unless, now if they're already in process, if they've already got approvals and already working, those can continue moving forward, but nothing new can be filed.
What I hope that we can somehow get out to the farming community is that, like, she said, we have got to, 11 or less is development right now that can happen. But anything after 11, no, you cannot right now.
11 or more is stopped.
Well, see, in the zoning matrix, in the agricultural district, it's always been 10 or less. And, you know, so as I've mentioned this several times in the past, if a big developer wanted to come into a farming community and buy up 100 acres and put 150 homes on it, the county wouldn't even give building permits to do that. That's huge. That is a great protection for farmers. You know, and that's why I encourage farmers to get involved in this 8-month moratorium we got, and to even strengthen it even more if the farming community wants to, throw the input in there. And we have we do have a pro zoning or a pro ag friendly council right now, and I do know that we have at least 3 pro friendly agricultural planning commissioners that would be willing to listen to anything anybody say about the agricultural community. It's just, we just gotta throw that input out there to them. Prod them along, as we say. So the 8 months, I'd say, is gonna be critical that we get it out there that, you know, this is the time to strengthen farming laws, if I guess that's the best way to put it, to help protect farms.
We had this discussion a couple of weeks ago with the Farm Bureau in Columbia, in this board of directors meeting, and the problem is, right now, in this county and other counties, I can't afford to buy it.
No.
If a farm I've been farming for 30 years, and this is happening as I'm speaking, comes up for sale, I got 2 boys and a daughter that wants to keep farming, I can't afford $35,000 an acre. I can't do it. I'm getting the same price as I did 20 years ago for my crops. So where's the money gonna come from? You go to the bank and they say, Charlie, we can't get it. It's just not worth that. Where did they come up with these prices? That's the problem, Dave. We've got to figure out, why is the county, anybody that owns land out here, deciding, I want $35,000, I want $40,000 an acre from it. Where is this coming from?
Lake Kiwi. That's where it's coming from, Lake Hartwell. I'm telling you, there is 7 or 8 states away that advertises, come to beautiful Lake Kiwi and retire. I'm just giving you an honest answer to your question. People have found out about us, our community, and they're coming. Like I've said it 5 years ago, you go down to Fairplay on 95 and you look south with some binoculars, they're coming. And if the farmer can unite the farming community to bolster these zoning regulations, if I'm a fat cat developer wanting to develop in Fairplay, I'm gonna have such an awful hard time with these, trying to surpass these zoning classifications, that I'm probably gonna go somewhere else, because it'd be not worth my time.
Well, I feel like we had an ace in the hole when when we first started this ag advisory, because it was 1 house per 5 acres.
What was that now?
It was 1 house per 5 acres. That was what you did, you know, I mean, and then they dropped it down to, what is it, a house per 1 acre
There's,
now?
You can have 4 an acre now. You have, if they got sewer, you can have
How did
4
that get
houses.
changed, you know, from, what was the law or the rule, you know?
well, different zoning classifications have different restrictions on the how much land. I know that my particular place is, one resident per half acre. But now, if you get just right down the road in the lake subdivision, it can be a quarter of an acre. It just depends on what zoning classification you're in. That's why I just keep harping to the farming community. The opportunity's out here to strengthen it. You just gotta do it. Like I said, I've said this 100 times, where I live, farming is dead because of that.
Is it time to re-enter the 1 acre, the one house per 5 acres? If we could get
I
that
don't-
passed? Or,
I don't know.
What's it gonna take?
But, but you gotta think about this though, I could never support that, cause what if a guy's worked all of his life and all he can afford is 1 acre to build a house for his family? That's not fair to him. To tell a man he's gotta have 5 acres before he can build a house. Just like you said, you can't afford an acre of land at those prices. Poor old fellow working his butt off in a plant, he's not gonna be able to afford it either. I mean, you understand what I'm saying? That'd be hard for me to, my conscience wouldn't say that poor old fella can't, if he had a chance to buy an acre of land and build a house on it, that's all he could afford. But Oconee says, nope, not unless you have 5 acres. I couldn't go along with that.
But out in the, well, what I'm talking about is out in the farming community.
Yeah, if it was in a farming community and
And it's.
And it was an
It's
option?
owned agriculture, it's gonna, I think it'd be okay.
yeah, I mean, if the community, see, that's where community initiated zoning comes in. That's what we've got right now. The planning department wants input from the community, am I correct?
Yes, sir.
They want input to know what that community wants, and that's, hey, you get some of these other states, when they have top-down zoning, you don't have a say. We're fortunate in this county that the citizens can have a say. And, you know, I just keep preaching it and preaching it and preaching it, and I'm hoping that in Ms. Christie, somehow, in your ventures with agribusiness, I'm sure you're considered an agribusiness.
Yes, sir.
If that's a good outreach to farmers to say, hey, do you know there's protections out here if you'll just take advantage of it?
Yes.
In your farming community.
Not to speak into your meeting, but October 5th, we're gonna do a farmer's farm crawl. So farmers in the county, we're partnering with the Chamber of Commerce. We're gonna rent Oconee County school buses, and we're gonna do a farm crawl where the farmers ride on the buses together. You can build community. The Chamber's gonna sponsor a nice lunch, and we're gonna hit the farm crawl stops, because you guys never get to get off your own farm, and see what other people are doing. And we are gonna invite speakers, very few, because we want them to build community on the buses, but some key speakers to come on the buses with us and talk to the farming community about issues just like this. So if you have recommendations for who those people should be, if you would like to come and speak to the farming group, you're more than welcome to do that. That's October 5th, which is a Monday, Farmers Farm Crawl.
I had a conversation one time with a farmer who farms a large farm, and I won't mention his name, but he told me that one thing is hesitant for a farmer, and Charlie, you're a big farmer. You can tell me what your thoughts are. They want to farm, but when it's time for them to retire and their kids don't want to farm, this farmer told me, hey, I'm like any other Joe. I want the best price I can get for my land when I retire. And they're afraid that some type of agriculture community zoning standards might restrict their full price to buy their land when they're ready to retire. Now, I don't know how to answer that for that farmer. I mean, I don't believe that's correct. I believe that land is so valuable, I don't think he's gonna have to worry about, like you just said, what, $35,000 an acre? Is that farmland you're talking about? Somebody will buy it. You know, somebody will buy it.
It's all on 24.
Uh,
All the way from Westminster all the way to Tamil.
So that is a concern that this farmer told me, that is also some of his farming buddies feel the same way. Hey, I don't want development to come into the farming community, but yet I don't want it to impede me when I decide to sell, or hurt me when I decide to sell. So, we dealing with some difficult times.
I had a farmer in North Carolina tell me over 20 years ago, he said, my land is my IRA. He said, it is my retirement. And I can see that viewpoint.
What has us different, y'all, in this county? And I tell this during the kids' tours. There's 319 broiler houses in Oconee County. We don't have that in no other county but Lexington. Saluda, right in there. But here, we have crops that's grown, wheat, soybeans, corn, and it makes a round trip. Time I cut my soybeans and we haul them to Gainesville, they make meal out of them and they bring that soybean right back to my chicken farm and deliver it as feed to those chickens. But it's coming to an end. I see it. I see the light at the end of the tunnel. I see it coming. And I don't know, we don't know what to do. I mean, I'm just serious. All of the chickens that's grown in here, one day's not gonna be here. That's a lot of chickens. You figure 319 houses. That's a lot of chickens coming out, y'all. That's gonna be stopped. People, you're gonna have people in here, 200 homes on a development, and they're gonna be hungry. How we gonna feed them? You know, I know the county state's worried about, you know, and I worry about it, water, power, sewer for these houses and these homes. And it takes a lot of it. They've already, Blue Ridge has already, got in touch with us about the power. During peak times, like when it gets hot or cold, can we run our generators on our chicken farms to backfeed to help with the power grid? And we all said, yeah, we're right here, but where does it stop? Hey, y'all know, I mean, you gotta build bigger power plants, you gotta build bigger sewer plants, you gotta build this and all that to accommodate what's coming in. Is it gonna pay for itself? I don't think so. I don't think so.
Well, as far as the farming community specifically, this next 8 months in this moratorium is gonna be, once again, I say it's gonna be critical input from the farmers. The farmers has to know about this, has to learn about it, has to speak to their councilman, speak to us, to relay to the councilman, anything they can do. This is the perfect opportunity for the farmer to stand together and ask for strong protections in this next 8 months. Mrs. I'm sorry, your last. Hester, I'm sorry. I'm just now trying to.
You're fine, no
I was
worries.
late. I'm sorry. I had at Wallace City Council, I had to be there. I mean, West Union City Council. But anyway, am I correct in kind of what I'm saying here?
Yes, the, planning commission is working at the request of the council on the, ordinances. So I would say reach out to planning commission and your councilman in those areas and make those wishes known, recommendations, those types of things. And again, the moratorium is 8 months, but the work has already begun. So the sooner, you know, you can rally
Yeah.
those comments, the better, to allow them to start thinking that through and how to implement some of those things, because that part takes a while to write and come up with enforceable ordinances.
And
Did I read where they're presenting that, or at least the first draft to the council Tuesday night?
What's that?
The planning commission presenting the revised, zoning?
They had worked on revisions to different sections, like, section
32 and 38 were
32
mentioned.
and 38 and, I believe, roads and bridges, I believe is 26. They've already done roads and bridges and they worked in 32 and have just started at the last commission meeting on 38. But through this moratorium, I think they will look back at everything as a whole and figure out what direction the council really wants to take, and I think that's what they're working on right now. But the final reading for the moratorium is Tuesday night.
That's the moratorium, okay.
Yes, sir, in the
Yeah,
vote.
yeah, yeah.
So
Okay.
therefore, slowing development down, is that what you're?
Well, this would allow for it to just put a pause in it to allow the ordinance to catch up, to put just because of the massive growth and development in the area, it's just to allow the ordinance to kind of, that's one of those things that needs to be updated often as the county grows and changes. 30 years ago, no one would have thought that the things that are in place today are so necessary. This just gives time for them to catch up and actually match up to the desires of the people, the council, et cetera.
Will the planning commission meet the night before? Will they meet Monday night?
No, sir, they don't have another meeting until, June. Will be their next monthly meeting.
Okay.
Right now. Now, they may end up calling some additional because of all of this needing to be done, but as of today, I believe June 12th is their next.
I gathered from the article that Tuesday's a pretty important meeting for, some of this to come before the council, so, yeah, let's contact our representatives and, the planning commission and talk to them and our neighbors and friends too, and talk to them. Because now's the perfect time to get the input in, because it's a hot item, so.
A lot of things that we need to be talking about.
I would recommend looking at it as a protective measure, not a prohibitive measure, as
Yeah.
far as the ordinances. That they're trying to protect the values of the community. And I think that's what this update is for, the moratorium to allow for that. So I would, maybe when you're talking to those farmers, it's to protect them, not to prohibit what they want to do in the future. But it's
Exactly.
to protect their interests as well.
Exactly, it's a positive outlook on that right there. And, I think most people that have witnessed it or has that type of protections on their property, I don't like overzealous. You can overzone, I guess is a simple way to put it in a lot of situations, but Oconee County is unique. It does look for input from its citizens of how you want to control your land, and my land, I'm a perfect example that it works for me. I have got people that surrounds my property that would love to see me leave. But I'm protected. What they don't like what I do, I'm protected, and my county is protecting me.
And more
I'm
people are
proof of
seeing
that.
that. More people are realizing the value, the positive value of guidance and not zoning, but districts and planning, and people are seeing the benefit of, just like you say,
It's a protection,
Protection.
like Ms. Hester said.
people are coming around. I've got a friend in Moore, South Carolina. Y'all know that's right down the road from BMW, across the interstate, hopping and skip to GSP. He's selling it's his IRA, he's selling his little 50 acres over there, and that's what he planned to do for his retirement, so he's gonna go under, like a lot of his area, like the rural areas are going, so if we can encourage people to try to pass it on, try to keep it put it in a trust or conservation easement or whatever, to try to protect it and pass it on so the kids can farm it. You just have it's all about communicating and tailoring it to getting the right people involved and tailoring it to what you want to do, so. Good input. Let's talk to our neighbors and our friends and our council people. Tell them what you support and what you want. And look at the comprehensive plan, because that strategy 8.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's 4 of them right there that deal with development, controls, preventing conversion of ag land to non-farm uses. That's another thing that we had talked about is impact fees. And we don't talk about it much, but I look at some of these farms that I personally worked on growing up and look at all the acres that are gone now. And if the county had gotten some impact fee from them converting to neighborhoods and subdivisions, that'd been quite a bit for the coffers of the Conservation Bank. But, that's another area to work on. But look at the comprehensive plan and come back next time, and let's talk about it. And, I agree, it's a good time to give input, so let's take advantage of that.
Mr. President, kind of like Ms. Christie was saying, and I'd like to say this, attracting agribusiness. We're working on stuff with the Farm Bureau, and I mentioned to them, like I mentioned how many broiler houses we have here and what agriculture we have. When I was coming up, everybody farmed. You either had milk dairy, chicken houses, whatever, pretty much everybody, you farmed, that's what you did. Now, like when you moved in here, I can see how you felt. You wanted to link up with the farmers. You want to know where your food's going. You want to know what's going on.
Yep.
And I mentioned at a board meeting back in January, I believe it was, we all sat in the DMV. Y'all know what I'm saying? And they show on the screen different things, And the ladies, the women's committee's getting a hold of it too, and they're looking up an advertisement about slow-moving vehicles and have, our farm equipment on the roads and stuff like that. And I just kind of mentioned, let's name some farmers. Meet your farmers, your county farmers. And there's something else I'd kind of like to see. If a restaurant or a cafe would do it, have a list of local farmers and maybe where their farm is located, go out and visit them, talk to them, get to know them, That's the only way I feel like now, we're gonna be able to work out a lot of our problems, especially with the traffic and all that we got up and down the road and understanding each other. But I feel like the DMV would be a good place too to do that. And even with county signs, we've been talking about signs here. And put some signs, what all Oconee County has. I know we tried to get it on that last one, but it didn't get on it. But I know we got how many, the impact, how much money's coming in from agriculture on that, but what do we have? I mean, a lot of people up around Mountain Rest and all up there, they don't know we got all these chicken houses. We don't know how much chicken we grow, how much cotton we grow, or whatever, unless you come down here. You don't see it, you don't know it.
There are a lot of farms in this booklet that people don't know about.
That's a good thing
niche
y'all
farmers.
doing. You got my thumbs up. That's a good
Got a
thing.
good program, Christie.
The county says there's over 900 registered farms in Oconee.
Well, speaking of farms and the farm center, let me throw this, I gave you a little bit of report. They asked me to tell you about the upcoming events, this Saturday is gonna be a big one. And then, different groups have rented out different buildings and uses and all that, so there's some other things that they hadn't published, but, they're doing things all through the summer. They're glad to kick off the farmer's market last weekend. They delayed it 1 week because of weather, but they kicked off this past weekend, and it's going well. The fair is October 3rd is the Native Plant Festival. They're doing another Jeep thing, November 2nd, and then they'll have the holiday crafts and fair, crafts market and vendor market, December 5th and 6th. December 11 and 12 live nativity. So they're trying to do a lot of things up there, and they're renting it out for other groups too. So try to support the farm center. Try to go see Miss Christie this weekend, and get around and educate ourselves about the many wonderful farms we've got. And it'd be a pretty tour, I'm sure. That's why people like it here, because the farms add to the beauty, and the open space is beautiful. So that's why we're we're getting so many people moving in, so. Does anybody have anything else? A little bit past 7, so. Well, thank you for coming, Miss Christie. We look forward to Saturday. Appreciate all the information. It's very valuable. We look forward to seeing you Saturday. And so, if nothing else, I hear a motion to adjourn. Motion in a second, maybe. All right. We'll call it a meeting. Thank you very much, everyone.